No, you're insane!
Hello and welcome to the Madhouse, episode 72. I'm Ultimate Spy 53, the host of this podcast, and joining me this week, I have...
I'm Chakky, I'm a weeb.
Steel person I already talked, go.
Yep. Oh, I'm Steven. I'm Steven Kovoc, also known as Steve Kovoc, so hi.
Hello, bigdinoguy here. Wasn't here last week, but I'm back, bitches.
Yay.
New person.
So we have a special guest this week. Introduce yourself, special guest.
Can I buy a vowel?
No,
Okay.
never.
So hey everybody, my name is Nathan. I'm the owner of Black Seal Chainmail. I make chainmail jewelry out of my apartment and hopefully sell it.
He'll be joining us this week.
He's older than all of us.
Well, I am 25, so
How much?
25.
Ah, cool.
Wow.
You're only about 6 years older.
I am a very hairy 12-year-old.
I swear, Zoe and I are like the youngest people. Actually, Zoe. Yeah, Zoe and I.
There's always
think
been
I-
youngest, man.
Yeah, I was
So, yeah.
born August 2000.
This week, last week, we did not have an episode because things went crazy. It's gonna happen, get used to it. We skip episodes sometimes, that is what
We're always
happens.
crazy.
It was Master's fault.
But we are back. Nevertheless, we are back. Even though we skipped an episode, it's gonna happen. But we are back, and this week there's not really much besides there's like Star Wars stuff. It's not as important, and there's Thor stuff. It's not as really a bit. It's mainly the stuff we've already seen in new trailers, and it's not that really important. But one thing that I've wanted to touch on for a while now, because it's
Isn't there a new Star Wars trailer?
no. Basically, to briefly explain it, Colin Trevorrow is no longer directing Episode 9, so that's just a little bit news for you. And so I was at PAX. If you saw my vlog, then you'll see some of the stuff I was actually seeing, and some of the stuff I was kind of surprised about seeing. And this was one of the topics one of the reasons this episode is going to be about this, and it's video game franchises where the sequel has not been announced yet. For example, Elder Scrolls 6. It's been 6 years and nothing yet. I mean, even though I'm still playing the 5th one, but also no Halo 6 yet. No Half-Life 2 Episode 3, aka Half-Life 3. No Portal 3.
Dude, Half-Life 3 is never coming out.
Yeah. So I
It's gonna come out. It's not.
I was thinking we would talk about those kind of things. So which game do you want to talk about first? That speculating about if it's ever gonna get a sequel.
Well, so for me, because obviously, as you guys all know, I've never really been one of those people to spend a bunch of money on different video games and whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
I just recently splurged a lot on Mass Effect 2 because I love that series and I just got the game back. And I just splurged. I mean, I just bought a bunch of the DLC and whatnot. I'm loving the game even more. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm multitasking. But,
Nice.
But one of the things that I know that from a nerd standpoint, because even though I might not have seen or played the games, it impacts a whole nerd or community as a whole.
Yeah.
And one of those I know for a damn fact is Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
People have been saying, hey, when's the third one's finally going to come out? For years and years. That's been a topic of a debate for a long time.
Yep.
If I remember right, they actually were announcing some other games what was that?
Yeah.
Not
course.
Shadow of the Colossus, but the
Oh,
other
good game,
one with
good
the
game.
giant winged dog. I forget what it's called. That's supposedly supposed to take place in the same universe.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name. I don't know.
You know what I was talking about half the time.
Giant winged dog. It sounded like Final Fantasy or something like that.
No, it was something that took place within the same Shadow of the Colossus universe.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
It
about.
was like this orphan boy befriended a giant dog that looks almost like the guy from Neverending Story. I mean,
Yep.
it basically looks
Same developer, basically. Yeah.
I was going to think of, crap, what's that one? Yeah, well, my train of thought just got derailed.
But
what was in my head?
basically with Half-Life, there was actually a because I think we had a podcast about this. We didn't really touch about too much. We talked about it, but not all that much. We kind of speculated about it, but we didn't really go into much details about it. And we talked about like, oh, well, it's never gonna happen. It truly won't happen because I think earlier this year, I think it was like Valve's 10th anniversary of announcing, or Gabe Newell's 10th anniversary of announcing Half-Life 3, or no, Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Never gonna happen. Although the only thing we've gotten in the past has been Black Mesa, which is if you ever got played Half-Life and never got to play it, basically a revamped version with using the Half-Life 2 engine. It's basically taking that story, and not only are they making it a HD version of that with everything better, but they're expanding upon it. So basically, just the coming December, because I actually bought it, but I haven't played it yet because I'm gonna wait until December. They're expanding upon the last level, Zen. I've never played that level. I got so far-ish, and I never got to play it. But they're basically expanding upon that level and adding more story to it, which is really cool. That's essentially the only Half-Life thing we're gonna get, because Half-Life 3 or Half-Life 2 Episode 3 never gonna happen because Gabe Newell is saying, yeah, I can't tell you. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't tell you. Although I believe there was a podcast that I listened to where, or I think I watched an episode of a podcast where they said that someone was actually like in the Valve headquarters and they got to try out a Half-Life 3 or whatever you call it, and they. Yeah. It could be wrong. It could be like a rumor. It could be just like someone who actually, could play just Half-Life 2. I don't know. But I think it could happen in the next 5 years. I really don't understand why they can't make it. Why is it taking them this long?
I have no idea why. Like, I think at this point the hype for it is just kind of like...
It's a great game.
Way too big, and now they dug themselves a hole.
Yep, pretty much. I mean...
I hate saying this, but I kind of have to agree with Zoe on this.
Yeah, me too, a little bit. It's just never gonna happen.
When you have a game like that, and you keep saying, yes we will, no we won't, yes we will, no we won't. It doesn't matter how old you are, if you're a little kid, you're going to get pissed off. And whether the game that comes out, if it doesn't live up to the hype, then you shot yourself in the foot majorly.
Yep.
Especially if it's such a renowned game as that. I mean, like, for example, I don't remember how... So, again, Mass Effect. I keep talking about this.
Yeah, I get you.
For me, I got them pretty closely knit together. I knew rumors, hey, the last one is going to be shit. Okay, still. But I love the games. I played it, like a bunch of other people that played it as each game came out a couple years after one another.
Yeah, of course.
But then after I got the third game, the hype was so built up for me. Oh my god, I want to play this. Oh my god, I want to play this. And it went down the shitter in the last 15 minutes. An even better example of this in the movie industry is Batman vs. Superman.
Oh.
A lot of people hated that movie because, I mean, hell, they just, Martha. And they just went through that whole thing,
yep.
And it doesn't almost like the right kind of movie for a lot of people.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, with that game, I never played the sequels. I never actually. There's a story behind this. I'm gonna tell it right now. Basically, it was when I was back in the laptop days. I had, without even realizing it, I think I ended up using Pirate Bay. This is long before I realized it was a terrible idea. I got Half-Life, the original game, on my computer. I got, like, I don't know, halfway through it, and I got a virus. And I learned from the mistake.
Oh.
Long time ago, years ago, before I realized it was a terrible idea to get illegal things from that. But basically, I got really far, and now I realize that's a bad idea, but I realized that it's a good idea. And, heck, I think the only rumor I've heard of it is if Valve isn't gonna make it, then maybe another company will. If people want it so bad, and it's been literally 10 years since the last Half-Life game, or more, depending on the episode thing. If someone actually goes ahead and make an episode 3 of Half-Life 2, or a Half-Life 3, or even the rumored Half-Life 4, just skip a bunch of them, then someone else is gonna have to do it, because if Valve refuses to do it for some unknown reason, we don't know why. It's been a thing for years. Like, Valve's like, yeah, sorry, we're not gonna make it. Like, why? That's the question, is why they're not making it. And maybe the reason why is because they just don't want to. And if that's gonna happen, maybe what will happen is if people want the next Half-Life game, maybe someone else should make it. Like, maybe some other company should make it.
Yes.
It makes sense, because although I haven't played them, it would be the only logical explanation for, if we're gonna get it or not. Someone else should make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing...
I'm sorry.
No, continue. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I appreciate it. But Tony, kind of remind me of how companies, they leave one project and another company picks up the ball and just
Yeah, with Halo. That's exactly what happened with Halo.
Like Halo.
Yeah, exactly, Halo. Like, with Halo, until it was like, Reach was the last game, and then they picked up with Halo 4, that's Halo because like Halo with Bungie was like, yeah, we're not gonna do it, and then D4 threw it ahead and just picked it up from there. It worked really well. The only question is if they're gonna do the same thing with Valve. If Valve's gonna do the same thing, if they're just gonna give their franchises to another company, because we haven't gotten a Portal 3, we haven't gotten any 3 from them at all, and it sucks because they're good games. Like, hey, for example, Halo. We don't even know if Halo 6 is gonna happen next year or not. I mean, we assume like, 2012, 2015, 2018, we don't know.
I have to say one thing about Halo.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that it wouldn't, but if it doesn't, I'm going to be very shocked, to be honest. Because Halo has been such a renowned franchise, and it's like, how many fucking Battlefields or Call of Duty have they made?
Oh yes, a lot.
Things over and over and over.
Every year.
This is something that I love Halo. I love Halo. It's one of my favorite franchises.
Same here.
A close thing to me, especially with Halo 2, because Caleb has been on this channel a couple times before. He and I, we'd always play Halo 2 whenever we went over. I mean, that was our shit. That was our equivalent of GoldenEye for like the older versions. But it's become almost like Call of Duty, how they just keep doing game after game after game after game after game. Not as many, but on a lower level. And because they're doing it, they are going to make another one. It's a cash grab at this point.
Yep.
It's got to be a cash grab, just like any of the other, just like a bunch of other movies that they're doing.
Yep, definitely.
I mean, I was talking to Tom earlier today, and we were discussing about, like, remember the Jak and Daxter franchise?
I haven't played the first one, but yeah.
Right, yeah. So, growing up in the 1990s, early 2000s, I was a big fan of Jak and Daxter for the PlayStation 2 console. The only problem was, and what killed it for me, and why I switched over to Xbox and Microsoft from PlayStation, was because Jak and Daxter was originally developed by Naughty Dog. The Lost Frontier, the final game of the series, was developed by High Impact Games. Those guys didn't have the talent that Naughty Dog had, and they just screwed up the gameplay for the whole game, and that's ultimately what killed it for me. So my question for everybody's mind ponderings is, will somehow wake up and create a new Jak and Daxter? 4 or something?
It's possible. I mean, I haven't played them, but I probably should play them, but I mean, if the same thing happened with Halo, where Bungie was saying, yeah, we're not making any more Halo games after Halo Reach, and then 343's like, you know what? The fans want another Halo. They want a continuation of Master Chief's story. Let's buy Halo from them. Okay, but we bought Halo. Okay, give them the Halo 4. And that happened. It happened, and they've made games since, which is excellent. Now the only thing with like the more unsuccessful companies that make actual physical games like Valve, which is currently just doing Steam right now, which isn't a bad thing. I just think that's they used to do actual physical games, and they don't anymore. And that's with like, if they're ever gonna make a Portal 3 or any of the 3s. I mean, I haven't played any of the 3s except Portal, and a little bit of Half-Life, but a lot of those companies, they need to get their good together. Kind of like with Tomb Raider. Like with that studio, I think it was a completely different company that was making Tomb Raider. I think something like that. And we've only gotten 2 Tomb Raiders in the reboots, and they haven't gotten a new one. I love the Rise of the Tomb Raider was a great game, but it came out in 2015, which was 2 years ago. And where's the next one? If it's gonna ever happen, and we don't know yet. I mean, that's the problem with a lot of these franchises, is we're never gonna. A good example, a perfect example, is what I was talking about earlier with Skyrim. We haven't gotten another Elder Scrolls game yet. It's been 6 years. Where is it? I mean, the only thing that Bethesda has announced is a VR version of all their games, like Fallout 4 VR, Elder Scrolls 5 VR. I don't understand where the 6th one is. As a fan, I don't understand where it is. Yeah, that's
I think they're going to invent number 7, and then they're going to release number 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, DLC.
I would expect so, and that's that's a big problem with a lot of video game franchises. It's like, where is the sequel? Why haven't they made a sequel yet? What the hell?
Well, the sequel costs like 5 installments of $59.99. Plus, you have to buy the DLC controller that goes specifically with the game itself.
Yeah.
You have it.
I mean, another example is like the Fable series. I'm only on the first one, but they aren't making any more. I think after there's no Fable 4, never gonna happen. And it's very stupid how companies just won't make any more games. Like Medal of Honor, the reboots. They only made 2 games. They're not making any more games after that. It's like once they reboot a game franchise, they only want to make like 2. It's like, come on, people, make more games. People want the game, make a game. How hard can it be? It's like, it's ridiculous. So I don't understand. Do you guys have any ideas about why this is happening? Do you have any ideas about why this is happening?
Why what?
Why the whole game thing, why the people haven't making more games or for different franchises hasn't happened yet? I mean, it should have.
They just don't think.
Don't think, yeah.
I guess because they don't think they're gonna make enough money for the project.
Sorry, I'm playing my game. I got.
I mean, look how long it took Fallout 4 to happen. I mean, seriously, that took a long time to make, and luckily they made it.
I have a theory, but I will patiently raise my hand.
Yeah.
And my theory is, I have the speaking mug now. Okay. So my theory is all the major companies like Bethesda, or not
Bethesda? Why that's not how you pronounce it? Bethesda.
Bethesda. Wait, that's like barista.
Oh my god.
The Fallout guy.
Yeah.
This is ginger ale. For like 99 cents for 2 liters.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the actual brand name. Oh, dude, brand name is called Nice. Anyway, man, my theory as to why some big game companies are not producing a lot of sequels right now is because big game companies say, oh, we need our employees to get paid more.
Yeah.
Let's hold off until we have enough money from good old common taxpayers so we can send our employees to art school for 8 years. That way, our customers can get way better graphics in their games.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I hope you're right, but I don't think so. I think that right now, okay, now this is kind of going hand in hand with the whole entertainment industry right now, and I'm going to sound like a pessimist, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm not entirely...
I'm not saying that I'm right.
I honestly think that people are running out of ideas right now.
Yeah.
For what?
For movies and video games and life. It's gotten kind of stale. Why
Yeah,
is it
repetitive.
that we are right now in the apex of sequel, old stuff? Oh my god, all this old stuff. There must be a sequel to it. I mean, they're bringing back in time. Like, for example, I just watched Creed. I just got done watching Creed about like 20 minutes before we did our phone call, and it's like a sequel to Rocky, but a lot of the same themes are responded. It's a good movie. Oh my god, I'm not saying it's bad, but they're trying to revamp and remake and just redo everything for so many movies right now.
Yeah, of course.
Because they can't have a whole bunch of screenplay. Entertainment industry is not the fans. Why else do you think they're screwing with Alien right now? They're completely fucking up the story, and they're allowing one dude, they're not listening to the fans, they're allowing one dude to completely fuck up everything that people love about it. They're allowing this to happen to so many franchises right now. That's why, because they have so many ideas. They don't let
It's so true.
They don't let anyone think of new ideas.
Yep.
It kind of fell down the fans.
What?
For sure, kind of threw me off. I had no idea.
Okay.
But
I mean...
Transformers is in the same thing right now. I didn't even see the new movie. I'm waiting until it comes on video and hope to God that I don't vomit in just your hatred for what they're doing to it.
I think Michael Bay, so far as the Transformers, I think the main 2 words that float around his vocabulary, or his mental vocabulary, are explosions and more. Just not in those specific order.
That's all that Michael Bay is. He is just
more explosions.
Explosions, yes, that's all
explosion. Whenever he has a new one, it's like, oh my god, an explosion at my pants at the same time. I mean, that's pretty much all that he does.
It's like a movie, it's like, oh, it has Michael Bay in it. It's not complete without an explosion. Make it happen.
Make it explode. Oh,
I have a question for the group. And I have no idea if this is true or not. I didn't watch the movie. But did Michael Bay direct the Power Rangers movie?
No.
I didn't see it yet. I wanted to actually.
It was good actually.
No, I know
It was,
that. He did
it
not.
was interesting.
Yeah.
I went in blind watching the movie. It was good.
Yeah.
But
the Power Rangers series, they strapped a bunch of TNT and dynamite.
yeah. But more on the video game stuff. There was actually there's a video game I'm playing right now called Life is Strange, and what's really interesting about that is not only are we in the world of sequels in video games, movies, anything, also prequels. Like they make a game and then they just make another game that set before that. It makes it all crazy. But the really interesting thing is this game is called Life is Strange. It's about this girl named Max who has the power to rewind time. Because the plot is that they're going after this, like her and her friend Chloe are going after this case about this girl who disappeared. And it can get a little dark and everything. There's cussing and everything, but what's really interesting is the idea of the being able to reverse time, being able to make a mistake and then going back through time, like oh you can go back in time, rewind time. It's a really cool mechanic, and what they're doing with it is not only they're making a sequel, but also they are making a prequel this year, which is really cool. I mean, I've only played the first 4 episodes of it, but it's really nice. It's one of those episodic games. Like, if you ever played episodic games, you have like 5 episodes, and like they take, I don't know, an hour or 2 to be complete. I think it's 2 hours to complete each episode, but they're really good. And I like more games. I mean, I know we're talking about sequels, but this is still on the topic of that. I like more games where they have a unique plot, they have a unique mechanics, like able to time travel or teleport, anything like that. I love those games. They're great. Like anything like that. Like I think Quantum Break, I want to say, for the Xbox One. That one, the trailer, because it had Aaron Ashmore or whoever the guy was. He played Iceman in X-Men. He was in that movie. He was in that TV show and also the game. But he can. The idea of that is that you can freeze time. Not only go for Life is Strange where you can rewind time, but also go to this game where you can freeze time. And it's a brilliant concept. It really is.
But can you fast forward through time?
Not in the game, no. Unfortunately, you cannot do that.
You can only travel backwards in time.
In the game, yes.
But you can't travel to the present?
Nope.
So you're stuck in the past.
There's actually a great part of one of the episodes where you're given like 6 things to do, and you have to like make sure you get everything, all 6 things are right, and you see a mistake happen, like someone breaks a cup, you can rewind that so they never break the cup, and then see exactly what happens. It's a really cool idea, but they're basically, I feel like a lot more of these video games are getting prequels instead. Although I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't see that's a bad thing. Like Halo got a prequel. I feel like too many things are getting a prequel. Star Wars is getting too many prequels already. Like everything's prequels now. Like, much more prequels than sequels.
Everything's a prequel.
And reboots and everything, it's just crazy, but I like the prequels. They're interesting. They kind of give you a more backstory on things. So, yeah, that's...
I'm sorry, Star Wars just confused the crap out of me. I think Master Yoda was the choreographer for how the episodes could air.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, yeah, pretty much he was. And hey, really quick, new person whose name I don't know. The guy that directed Power Rangers was Dean Israelite.
What? Is Dean what? What was that?
Dean Israelite. It was the one that played the...
Oh.
That did the new Power Rangers movie.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I like that movie. It was good. I literally went in that movie blind. I did not know what any of the characters were. I had seen a little bit of what they were, but I didn't know anything. I went in and I liked it. Even though it didn't look good, partly I think it didn't do as well, but it still was enjoyable. And same with games. Like I remember, and Steven will be able to comment on this very highly because we played it together. So you guys may not know this, but I'm a big fan of Coraline. I love the movie. I've watched it dozens of times. And there was a game, and this is the problem with video games that come out like coincide with movie releases. And it was a game called Coraline, same game, for the PS2, and it was so bad. It was unbelievably bad, and Steve remembers exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, one of the mechanics is when you're playing as Coraline and you jump, it looks like you're humping the air. It's like, it's that bad.
I bet we played like a song,
yeah. I mean, it's actually really bad. The game is terrible. it's fun to play because it's bad. Like, play any of those games where it's so bad it's fun. Yeah, it's like, this is fun because it's so bad. Any of the games, like...
You know what? Tom, that actually makes me think of the Assassin's Creed movie.
Really?
Okay, because think of this. If you play any Assassin's Creed game...
I've only played the first 2. I'm on the second one right now.
For anybody in the group who has ever played Assassin's Creed, how is the Animus set up? It's set up like a hospital MRI bed, right?
Yep.
You go inside, you lay on your back, and you go travel back in time. Watch the movie. How did they do it? They take Dr. Octopus's arm and strap it to your back and stick a bunch of needles in your
I didn't hate it. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Different, but interesting.
Yeah, something about the topic of the Assassin's Creed games and movies. I've only played the first and the third game. I love the third one, and I played that quite often.
Oh, you go play number 4. You will have a fun time.
But yeah, I saw the new Assassin's Creed game, and yeah, I didn't like the way they made the Animus. However, you got to be thinking of it this way. Are you really going to pay to see a movie where all you see is the guy that played Walter and David and the alien prequel that's laying on his back and going,
No, I don't know, right?
It looks like a fucking like Matrix reboot. That's not really what you don't pay to see.
That's true. I would rather see a guy wearing an high-tech blindfold jumping around with one of Doc Ock's arms.
I agree. It actually made things quite entertaining as well. Personally, I wasn't a huge fan of the movie. I enjoyed it. I will watch it again one day, but thank God I wasn't the one that paid for the ticket.
Yeah.
What movie was it again?
Assassin's Creed. It was fairly good, actually. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I saw it before it came out, actually. Like, they had a Thursday night showing of it, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it, surprisingly. But...
Well, how many dollars did you pay off your friend?
I don't know. I can't remember. But basically, on the topic of bad games, and also to do with, like, tie-in games, I feel like they're not necessary. Tie-in games, as though they're fun, they're not necessary. Kind of like with, I think one of the worst tie-in games I've ever played, and I haven't beaten it yet, is Spider-Man, the first movie, based off the first game, first movie from Tobey Maguire. That game, terrible, because of the way that you swing. It's like, you go... That's all you do. You just go in one direction. You can switch direction, but it's terrible. And I'm kind of tired of tie-in games. Wouldn't you agree? Like, tie-in games kind of are getting old, right? Like, the more they do it, the more it gets old.
That's true. I don't particularly care for tie-in games.
Me neither. And although they look interesting, like some of the ones they change it by adding more plot to it, making, basing off the plot of the movie, but also expanding upon the plot, giving them a different voice actor, which is terrible idea, and I just don't think they're a good idea. Overall, I don't understand it. And plus, one of the weirdest things ever that happened is, I believe in the new Lego Marvel game, Lego Marvel Avengers, they added DC heroes. How does that make sense?
They're doing a crossover game?
So basically, they made a I think last year or something, they made a Marvel Avengers game for Lego, and apparently they had a DLC where you can, or like maybe even a mod, where you can add in DC characters. How does that make sense?
Well, that's a mod.
I know, but like, they're completely different publishers.
It's a very stupid mod.
But still.
Not following the continuity, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the idea of tying games, and also, Lego, with Lego, like, their games, they're adding so many franchises to it, where it gets ridiculous. Like, actually, there was a great example of licensing issues where, like a Batman movie had it, where, if any of you guys have seen Doctor Who, you'll understand this reference. So there was a scene in Lego Batman movie where Daleks had come to one of the scenes, and they called them, because they didn't have the licensing to call them Daleks, they just called them British robots, because they didn't have the rights to they didn't like, oh, we don't have the money to actually pay for the rights to the Daleks, so let's just call them British robots.
Why can't they just release the movie like 6 years later?
I don't know, but they had to just, oh, we don't have the rights to call them Daleks, let's just call them British robots. So that was like really stupid how they did that. I mean, it was overall an enjoyable movie, but like I feel like with Lego and some of the games they're making, I mean, I think it wasn't until 2012 they actually added voice acting. Like they added like audio from the movies, which is great, but like it makes it kind of stupid because these past games, all you get from Legos is like that. All I get is just grunts and stuff like that.
I just had the worst 3 words pop into my mind.
What?
What?
Lego Assassin's Creed.
Oh no! What? Are you serious? Wait, no, he didn't. Zoe, he didn't say let it go. He said Lego Assassin's Creed. Although a Lego Frozen would be a terrible idea.
Okay, Lego Assassin's Creed, that would be pretty awful too.
But Lego Frozen,
Assassin's Creed is
who would
worse.
do that?
Watch the parkour animations, they will make you laugh.
But seriously,
Am I too dark?
it bring up a good point. No, you're fine. You're fine. You bring up a good point. Lego Frozen or Lego Disney, anything like that. That wouldn't work. I don't see it happening.
Disney Assassin's Creed.
But still, I mean, some of the Lego games they've made have been fairly decent. Except the ones that, until they added voice acting, they're just not the same. And I feel like they kind of go inside with the whole, time games, is the fact that they're not necessary. I don't understand why they do them. I haven't played them really much, but look, they seem interesting. I mean, I'm not saying they're a bad idea, I just don't understand why they're necessary. Like,
yeah.
Why do they make them?
I mean, that would be a fantastic movie if Disney picked up, like, some Assassin's Creed project.
Well, they can't because they're a Ubisoft. They don't own the rights. They can't distribute that. But I still get your point.
Make it a musical.
Why do you think everything should be musical suddenly? Everything should be musical somehow. Imagine a Lego musical. That would be weird.
That would be what? Why?
A Lego musical, or actually, I think there was this SpongeBob live-action thing they're doing, like on stage. It looks terrifying. Like it's SpongeBob live-action. It looks terrifying.
Oh, you're talking about the new SpongeBob SquarePants movie?
No, it's a live-action stage thing. I don't know. It's weird, but basically the idea is that is with the tie-in games. They don't need to happen, especially when they're tie-ins from movies that aren't that good. Like Transformers can be in the thing, but like a lot of the games, like for example, Amazing Spider-Man 2, there was a tie-in game for that one, and it had weird stuff in it. I don't even think it had Andrew Garfield doing it. Also, I think the Spider-Man game from the first movie, that didn't even have Kirsten Dunst in it. That's the problem with tie-in games, is they can't seem to hire the original voice actor. Like for Iron Man, those games, those actual tie-in games, they didn't get Rob Downey Jr. until like the second game or something like that.
Time games?
Yeah, tie-in games with the movies. Like movies that released at the same time as tie-in games. Like for example, Jurassic World, Lego Jurassic World, that came out at the same time as the movie came out, with all four games in one disc. It's just I don't see it necessary to have all these tie-in games because some of them aren't good, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
But I know we're talking about sequels, but this has to do with just games. I mean, this is technically a video game episode, but I just don't see why.
Yeah, this is a video game episode. We can talk about. Dude, it's a madhouse.
We can go from. I mean, the focus is video games, but we can go from topic to topic on video games. But basically, tie-in games. I don't understand what tie-in games need to happen. They don't need to happen. Like,
I just
really.
have one quick little.
Oh yeah.
Side note. You mentioned a couple of paragraphs before some kind of realistic SpongeBob game.
Yeah. Oh no, it's actually not a game. It's a play thing. So look out live action SpongeBob. It looks terrifying. It just it's weird. I think I saw it somewhere.
Realistic SpongeBob. I hope
Yeah.
you all can see my screen.
It looks terrifying. See if I can.
What the hell is that? Oh god.
Wait, what?
Dude.
What?
Scream, please.
That is the new SpongeBob Glove World movie.
I don't care. I really don't want to be haunted by that shit.
I don't think it isn't here, but it was basically some guy with yellow hair. Literally, it was terrifying. But
Oh, The Simpsons.
yeah, a lot of the games that I've seen haven't been good with tie-ins because of the. Oh God, that is terrifying.
What is it called?
It's SpongeBob live action thing. I don't know. It looked terrifying. I mean, I think it was on Facebook when I saw it.
Oh, it's in Indonesia.
But yeah, the idea with video games is not just the fact that they're making new IPs, and also the fact that video game movies can't be a thing anymore because IPs. But also the tie-in games, anything with video games just isn't really working for us a lot. I mean, video games are
What
great,
is
but
that?
it's just the fact that it's not working very well with the whole, you know, from like, you know, video game movies to tying games to, you know, terrible games or remakes. I think that's what the problem is. Like reboots,
Okay.
all that stuff.
So, something on that in terms of video game movies. Well, this is just a board game, but which also kind of furthers my point that I'm about to say. Have you ever seen the live adaptation of Clue?
I have not actually.
Oh, what the fuck? Hang on.
It kind of sounds familiar.
Anyway,
it did.
the
I had Tim
movie
Curry in it.
version of Clue that they had, right? Tomorrow. Fucking piece of shit. There we go. But sorry, my laptop wants to keep updating. Just like, no, do it tomorrow, and it's having.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
have you seen the thing with Avast antivirus? It literally, when it goes to update, there's an option you can select. Remind me next century.
What? Huh.
Reminds me when I have grandchildren.
Imagine, okay, so I guess your kids or grandkids, maybe even great-grandkids, will be the ones who finally get the remote.
My grandkids' children's children.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, imagine on your deathbed, guys, on your deathbed, you just tell your kids, please,
Yeah, you're gonna be alive at the next century.
do this.
Update Chrome. Your very last,
That's my last will and testament.
no, your last one was that's
The only thing in your
no, the last of my browser You're just like grabbing the nurse's arm in shock. Where am my browser?
Oh, yay! Finally got your video on. Yay!
You know what? That's what my will is going to be now. Thank you very much for this idea. Well, my last will is just going to be, at my funeral, I will make them read my will out loud. Hey, Ed. Make them read my will out loud. And at the very last sentence, I will say, and do not forget, my love. Claire, my brother is free. But anyway,
Alt F4 or something.
whatever the hell you need to do. Anyway, so for Clue,
Hmm.
and yes, I'm going to be prim and proper for a few moments, which I will work, but one would find out. Anyway, was Clue. So that movie was all based off of the board game. And if you've ever played the board game, the whole
I have like once.
thing is to figure out who killed the good guys. Who killed the survivor. That's the entire game. You need to figure out in what room, and no, you need to find out the room, the weapon, and the person. And it's completely randomized. And they had a lot of room to play with in this game. I mean, a lot of room.
Yep.
They even have 3 alternate endings to the movie that you can either select or have all 3 being played out. One more obscure than the next. And that is essentially what the movie is.
Yep.
A lot of these other ones that are based off of video games, they don't have the essence of what the game is supposed to be. You don't have any of these characters like going on their whole plights and whatnot. Just like a book, how the game is a lot more expansive and you can't expect the whole thing to be played out in just a couple of hours. The game, like right now, I went from one planet to the next, each one having so many different things happening all at once.
Yep.
It's impossible to keep that essence, and so what you gotta do is either A, have a lot of room to play with, maybe have it take place in the same universe, like, if any of you guys watch Smosh Games, and this is to the audience as
I've
well.
watched Smosh videos.
If any of you guys watch Smosh Games, I haven't done that in a long time.
They have a great playlist of If Blank Were Real.
Then you know that Shire is also an advocate for having a Mass Effect TV series or one movie or something like that.
Yep. Halo TV series. Where's our Halo TV series?
Yeah, that's all characters within the same universe, yes. I mean, that's what Mass Effect is, but not the same character, because that way you have a lot of room to explore. You have a lot of room to introduce new characters, have different references and whatnot.
Yep.
Even though you're going to have it taking place in the same one, it's not going to be the same thing. Assassin's Creed did that same thing. The exact same concept of what I was just talking about, which is why a lot of them fall short.
It was not Ezio Auditore with the hidden blade. It couldn't be. No.
Actually, speaking of that movie, there was actually a great actor in that movie. Actually, I did a review of a movie that he was also in called The Three Musketeers, and Tim Curry was actually in the movie you're talking about, Clue. I mean, that's because I saw a video about it, but he was in that movie.
Yeah.
Tim Curry. He's a great actor. He's no longer... he's no longer able to do live-action movies anymore because he's in a wheelchair. Because he got.
Hey, you can be Professor.
Because
wheelchair, he died.
No, Tim Curry Tim Curry is not dead. He is in a wheelchair. He just got a stroke.
Tim Curry's not dead.
No.
Jim Carrey's in a wheelchair?
Yeah, he got a stroke back in 2012. He cannot do live-action roles. He can do voice acting, but he can't do live-action roles. I looked it up.
Okay, are we talking about the same Jim Carrey who did Bruce Almighty?
Tim Curry.
Oh, Tim Curry.
Yes.
Tim Curry. Okay.
British actor, not Jim Carrey. Not the guy from The Mask.
The fuck? How the fuck did he die?
Not this guy. Not this guy.
Okay. Yeah, not The Mask. Not Bruce Almighty. Okay. Don't scare me like that, Tom. Screw you.
You couldn't really. I talked too fast, but yeah, he was in the movie, and I mean, it is a board game movie, which is very rare. That doesn't really happen a lot, but he was in the movie. I saw it. Well, I didn't see the movie, but I know he was in there because I've seen a lot of movies that he's been in, and he's a good actor. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from. No, Tim Curry's very much alive. He actually he narrated the book of A Series of Unfortunate Events, actually, which is really good.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah. No, he didn't die. No.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Not Jim Carrey. Tim Curry.
Yeah, they sound very similar. Jim Carrey's the guy who was Bruce Almighty, and also the weird ass comical character of The Mask in The Mask.
Yeah, The Mask.
Like that kind of guy with the eyes popping and everything. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to talk about video game mods because I recently saw, I was just cruising Facebook today, and I saw a Lion King mod in GTA 5. Now, GTA 5 is one of those games where you can mod anything in, kind of like Skyrim, but it's a game where you can, I don't play it because I don't want to play it, but it's a game where you can literally put any character model in it. And there was a Timon and Pumbaa mod in it I saw today on a image post. It was weird. Yeah, that exact mod. It was like, what the hell?
No, I mean, I know who the Lion King characters are. I'm wondering who would play as Pumbaa.
I don't know, but it was in GTA 5 because, I mean, I was just thinking we should talk about mods because mods are very cool, and I don't really play a lot of games with mods in them.
Forever and got to these mods.
So what do you guys think about mods? Do you, do you have a favorite mod? Do you?
Mods are cool.
Yeah.
I think
You can
mod the hell out of
shit.
That is true.
You can like expand your game. I used to mod. Okay, back when I played Minecraft,
Oh,
I used to mod the shit out of it.
Like, what did you put in it?
Oh god, okay, I haven't played Minecraft since like 2014.
Really?
Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, you played it once. You played it once before.
Okay, I haven't played Minecraft since 2015.
Well, you can do anything in Minecraft, basically.
The one mod I remember is like, no creatures, Minecraft comes alive. I don't know how I still remember these.
What? There was actually a mod that I tried out on one of the. I just was playing around and I downloaded a mod. I think it was some kind of mod for Minecraft for a TARDIS. I can make a TARDIS. Actually, another one, a better one, where you could actually literally make a TARDIS and go inside of the TARDIS as if nothing else was there. It's pretty cool. Yes. There was, I was watching a YouTube video, well, I don't know how long ago, but it was a video where they showed a Minecraft TARDIS, and you could actually go inside of it, and it was bigger on the inside. It was really cool. But yeah, I like mods, honestly. I think the one, would you shut up, please? There's one game, and one game only that actually has good mods, and that's GTA 5. Although I haven't played the game, I know that there are really good mods for that game. And also Minecraft, because Minecraft you can do literally anything in that game. But more realistically, is GTA 5, where you can put any character in there. You can put the Avengers in there. You can put the goat from the Goat Simulator in there. I think. The goat from Goat Simulator.
Fallout 4, you can mod the shit out of that game.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not aware.
Anybody else played it? And for
Skyrim's also a popular one.
Yeah, Skyrim. Actually, in Skyrim, you can create a gigantic pony from My Little Pony in Skyrim.
Oh my god, I remember.
As the dragon.
Yeah, it was terrifying. I mean,
can you mount and ride Twilight?
yes. Although I don't watch that show, I've heard of the character. You can mod a pony from MLP in Skyrim and ride as a dragon. It's crazy. There's a lot of shit you can do in mods like that, in game mods. It's pretty intense. But yeah.
For fun, I mean, there's a gun called the, I don't know what it's called, like the big nuke launcher gun, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's called the Fat Launcher. The Fat Man, it just came to me.
The Fat Man? Did you just call it a Fat Man?
It's literally called the Fat Man. It's basically a bazooka and you launch mini nukes.
I thought you said the Fat Man. That would be weird.
Yeah, it's called the Fat Man.
What?
It's called the Fat Man.
Wow. Huh.
Wow. Yeah, but anyway, so one thing I have in the game is I have a Deadpool costume. Mm-hmm. And it's totally unrelated to that.
Wow.
But the crazy thing is, I have a Deadpool costume and I can throw mini nuclear bombs like grenades. It's the greatest thing on earth.
Wow.
I make a giant mushroom cloud when they drop.
That's insane.
Oh, it's the best thing.
But yeah, I will say that mods, I'm not saying that they are the best thing about video games, but they definitely make them funner. They definitely make video games a lot funner to play. Especially games like GTA 5 where you can do anything in them, or any game at all where it's kind of boring, but only until you put mods in it, it gets boring. Like, it's boring, and then you put mods in it.
Fury Road, I would love to see a mod where you can drive a monster truck.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Or a TARDIS, for example. I would love to see that. There've actually been I don't know if you guys ever played Roblox, and I did a little bit of my life.
Oh, God.
Not a whole lot.
I played Roblox once when I was 12, never again.
Yeah, but there was a TARDIS that someone made of the 10th Doctor's TARDIS interior. It was okay, I guess. But yeah, I mean, a lot of like online games, including a story that I do have to tell. But when I was playing the game Club Penguin, unfortunately, Club Penguin is no longer living. It's dead. Disney shut it down. Basically, there was a time in the game when I was playing the game when a penguin by the name of Kate78 started to grow fond of me. It would not stop talking. Wouldn't stop talking to me. I remember this. It was weird. I mean, this online game where you control a penguin and you all around. It was weird. But yeah, it was something else. But I feel like online games are more popular than I don't know. I feel you can do more with online games. You can have.
I had to get up and do a couple things really quick, but if I understand you right, you're talking about the differences between online and regular, like just console, like you're playing your game.
Like which is funner, that kind of thing. Like
obviously, I haven't been playing a whole lot of recent games, and for a year I had the opportunity to play online.
Yeah.
The only game that I ever did anything online with was on occasion Borderlands 2 if I'm with my friends, or on Halo Reach.
Yep, I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that.
To do your own character and all that.
Yep.
And it was a lot of fun. But aside from that, there isn't really much of a need. People depend way too much on online gaming nowadays. It sucks. There's no more essence by you developing your character anymore. Like Mass Effect right now, I'm just playing this and I'm developing my character's interactions. I'm trying to see what happens, and it's all my own thing. But then now people are just like, okay, we gotta do this and do the boss raid. Oh, for some reason I sound like Trump right now, but that's pretty much. It doesn't have as much as an essence, and there are far too many assholes online.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yes.
I tried playing GTA 5 once online, just once.
Oh my goodness.
So many assholes. Good God.
Wait, were half of those said assholes like 12 years old?
No. Oh, I don't know. I couldn't hear them.
Demographic, I know.
I couldn't hear them, so I don't know for certain. But there are just so many assholes online, and I couldn't do anything. I knew a person that I don't have any time to pause. It's not worth the money. It's not worth the time. If you want to play a game, play the damn game. If you have online options, okay, have online.
Driving your character just to play the game for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I totally get you on that. I mean, it's very different. Online compared to just on your own is very different because you don't have to deal with all the crap. People being douches to you and stuff like that. But also, I feel like the difference between online and console is that when you're on your own, you can do your own stuff, and then when you're online, it's way different. I mean, kind of going on online was with you know, episodic games. I mean, I know I'm completely going off topic, but I just want to explain this real briefly before we go back to the topic. And that is with episodic gaming, is that with a lot of gaming that do with episodic gaming, is that you can make choices that impact how you play the game, which is very interesting. Actually, kind of like I was talking about earlier with the Quantum Break, where the TV show, when you play the game, it impacts the TV show. Like, whatever choices you make in the game, it impacts the TV show, which is really cool. Kind of like a game called, I don't know if you guys know about this, but it's called Virtual Morality. I saw Chakky play it. It's really interesting. It's basically it is this virtual game where you're playing, like, you make your own choice, but also they filmed it, so it's like actual actors in the game, actual, like, people in the game, but it is an actual game, but people are like actually acting. You can make choices depending on what it is, and you have like, it's like a murder mystery or whatever. But it's really cool. It's a really amazing game. You can like make choices that depends on what.
A very dangerous game of God.
Yes, exactly, and it's like actual actors who did the game, which is very different. But I feel like.
Do I fire Matt Damon and ruin his life forever?
But I do like the you know, with gaming with the choices, like episodic gaming or anything like that, where you have every choice you make impacts the game. I don't know why, but I like that idea. It's really cool. And I wonder if they'll do that same idea with online. If they'll do like choice-based games online, like episodic games online. That'd be really cool. Kind of like with maybe not Elder Scrolls Online, but like a lot of like online gaming where they do the same thing where you make choices that impact the game. And I like that. It's really cool.
That kind of gives me the idea of like Marvel or somebody should pick up the tab for an open world for your own game where you can transform at will from Bruce Banner to the Incredible.
Well, they're actually gonna make a Avengers game. It's gonna be third person, which is gonna be awesome. I have no idea when it's coming out, but we talked about it on a podcast a while ago, and we didn't know anything about it. But now we know a little more. It's gonna be third person actually.
No, I like your idea of you know, like every choice you make determines the ending of the game.
Especially with the TV show Quantum Break, where every choice you play on a game impacts the TV show, which is a really clever idea, and I like that. And a lot of franchises like Star Wars or Halo, they're getting their own TV shows. When? I don't know, like the Halo TV show, we don't know what's gonna happen. And that's a lot of like, you know, gaming franchises where they're supposed to get a TV show and then never have, which is stupid, but like, I still like the episodic gaming. It's fun.
Assassin's Creed Series 3.
Yes, like Assassin's Creed, a proper, you know, not like, I think they haven't done an episodic game, but like a proper game in Assassin's Creed that's very different than what we have had.
So
like
Assassin's Creed the TV series?
Yeah, because they make a they made a movie and they could do a TV show too.
You know,
like an extended TV show.
Subscribe to that.
Yeah, like they can make a TV show that happens in the same universe as the movie. It's kind of like they're doing with like X-Men and stuff. But like, I would like that to happen. And if they did like, you know, Assassin's Creed, which is a great franchise by the way. I mean, a lot of the, you know, video game franchises aren't doing too well, but I still see a future with that. And that's really all I can say about that. Do you guys have any other ideas about the, you know, do you have an opinion about the episodic gaming? Yeah, tough question, isn't it?
Well, what question?
Episodic gaming. What do you think of it?
Online?
Yeah, just like a game with episodes in it. Like, you know, 5 episodes for episodic gaming. Like Life is Strange or any other like episodic game.
I see.
Yeah.
Online gaming, I could see that, but I again, just I prefer that to not have it online. I'd want it to be my own personal thing. I could see that happening, but the inner workings between different people on different franchises and whatnot, or from all around the world, that just get way too muddled.
Yeah.
I could see it happening, like if a Sword Art Online thing kind of happened.
Ooh, yes. That's actually
in
happened.
In a way, we already kind of have that. We already kind of have that with like World of Warcraft and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brandon.
It's one overarching story.
Yeah, or if they made like online things for like Minecraft, which I don't think they've done before, or I don't think they really have they done Minecraft online. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sort of.
They have. They make a Minecraft multiplayer.
Yeah.
Online. Minecraft story mode.
I've never played that game. I feel like with that game, even though I haven't played it, it feels like a lot of games like that, they just don't need a story mode. Like a lot of games that are just like do whatever you want in it. They don't need a story. There's no reason to have a story for a lot of games. I mean, I can't think of any game on top of my head, but...
I disagree with that. I disagree with that completely.
Really?
I think the majority of video games require a story. That's how, like, all of these... Legend of Zelda.
I understand that, yeah, that makes sense.
Could you imagine... No. Hear me out. Could you imagine that without having some sort of a basic story? Even another game that I play called The Warframe.
Oh, yes.
The story is very loose.
I've played that a little bit.
The story is very loose, however, it is kind of following the same narrative where you were this lone Tenno. Wait, there are more, but but you're this Tenno, this super soldier trying to take back the universe, save the galaxy, and all that. But it still has, in a way, its own kind of story. In a way, not much, but in a way. But
yeah.
But I think that video games, they need to have some sort of story, unless you're doing like some simulation thing, like a pod racing game.
Or roller coasters, The Sims, anything like that.
Yeah, if it's a game like that, okay, you don't need a story. but those aren't really, they're video games, but they're not really what people like me want. I want to have a story. I want to have characters that I'm going to love playing this game to see. That every time that I put the game into the internet, fall in love with and relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I keep going back to this game over and over because it is the epitome of what I think is a great franchise. One of my favorite characters in this is named, oh god, there's so many, but Garrett. One of the characters named is Garrett, and he's my favorite side character.
Yeah.
I love this guy. He's relatable. And as
yep.
each game progresses, he really progresses. The second game, he is just a broken soul. Absolutely broken. He hates everything and wants that.
Spoiler alert.
He wants to kill the people that fucked over his team and whatnot. And you're just watching that and you're like, oh my god, he's a badass alien Rambo. Oh my god. But those are the best 3 words I've ever heard. Badass alien Rambo. That's Garrett, man. That's Garrett. Oh my god. What? You just made my whole entire weekend. I'm happy to help. Look, I should pay you in Bitcoin. I am the kind of guy. I am the insane one.
Yes, clearly. But yeah,
but I want a story. I want a story. I want characters I'm going to interact with.
I agree with that.
Because if I'm watching movies, I want to see something that has a good story. One of my issues with what movie was it? Not too long ago. I forget which Rocky movie it was. It wasn't the last one. I think it was like Rocky 4. Chakky couldn't have. He's basically trying to train a protege and whatnot, and it just felt like a bunch of lumped together. Just it was not good. What was the other one I saw recently? It was a sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh yes.
Guardians.
Yeah, we talked about that last week or last episode.
It didn't really have much of a linear story, and it was kind of trying to be a carbon copy of the original. It tried too hard to overdo it, so it didn't feel like a story. There was no character progression and whatnot. That's not why I went out of a movie. That's not why I went out of a video game. I want these characters that I'm going to fall in love with, and I'm going to hate when they die, but love when they triumph. That to me is a good one, right? I
mean, there's a lot of games out there that I just refuse to play because they don't connect. And I'm a kind of gamer where I like if it's a sequel where it takes place after the previous entry or somehow connects to it. Great. Otherwise, if it's just like a game that doesn't have anything to do with the previous one, I don't play it. Like for example, the Final Fantasy series. I don't need to play all these other games because they don't connect at all. I like to have games where the sequel has to do with the previous one. Because an example of that is when I played the Half-Life 2 Episode 2 demo. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea who the characters were because I hadn't played the first game. And that's a weakness. That's what happens when you play the second game before the first game because you have no idea what's going on. Because some guy was like, hey, do you remember me? I'm like, I have no idea who you are. Who are you? I've never met you before in my life. And that's because I didn't play the first game. And that's what happens when I don't do the first game because the consequence of that is I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, exactly. And now I know what to do. So, yeah.
Kind of like with Assassin's Creed, you have to play the first one.
Yep.
To kind of understand, okay, this is the Assassin Order. These are why these guys are fighting.
Yeah, but like with the Assassin's Creed 2, what happened to Altair? Well, what happened to Altair is that he's not the assassin that Desmond goes to this time. They switch into a different version of the Animus. That's how it happened. That explains what happened to that character. They just happened to switch into a different Animus. There you go. So that's all there really is to it. He explains the story. Otherwise, if you play games like this that don't have connections, it's like, huh? It's like, otherwise it's just pointless to play. But yeah, that's all I can say.
On that note, with Assassin's Creed, it's like Brennan was saying, how you want video games that, you know, the characters you just fall in love with.
Yep.
With Assassin's Creed 3, I kind of cried.
Don't spoil it.
At the very end, spoiler alert at the end.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Charles Lee and Daniel, whatever the hell his assassin name was, you know, they're sitting in the bar and they're like, alright, this is it, I'm way too tired, fuck it. Just lean over, I'm gonna stab you. By the way, do you want a beer first? I'm like, don't give the enemy a beer.
But actually, a good example of games where, you know, the story kind of changes in the way the game looks is Halo 4. From Halo 3 to Halo 4, Master Chief's armor changed completely, as well as Cortana. Like, both of them, like, when you go from the Halo 4 trailer, they look the same. But when you go to the Halo 4 game, it's like, what the hell, like, Cortana looks completely different, same voice, but completely different, and Master Chief looks completely different. Like, that's one downside of Halo 4 that I did not like. The beginning of Halo 4, when I first played, I'm like, what happened to Master Chief? Why does his armor look different? What happened to Cortana? Why do they look different? And we don't know. I mean, the only realistic reason is that 343 decided to change their style because they're a new company. Otherwise, I have no idea. Maybe it was just a style thing.
They hired a new armor designer.
They did not explain that. That's the one thing I don't like about video games with story, is they don't explain things where you don't understand how a character changed. Like with Master Chief in early games, they explained his change because, oh, he got new armor. But in Halo 4, they didn't explain it. He went to sleep in his armor. He came out in this armor. What the hell? It was weird. I did not understand.
I mean, it is a little bit unsettling to kind of be thrown into that new world, or I guess the new changes so suddenly.
Yeah, totally.
Where did this new armor come from?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't recognize it at all.
I have no idea, and I guess I'll just never know. It's just gonna be a part of that story. So, yeah. We are at time, actually. We're a little over time. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag the movie.
Black Flag the movie, yeah.
Let's do it.
How about bigdinoguy? You have anything?
I already said, Mass Effect is amazing.
Alright. Steve and Chakky, have anything?
No, fuck you, let's go.
Okay,
That work?
cool, yeah,
I have to go tomorrow.
what was that?
It's tomorrow right now.
What time is it you're in?
8.
What time do you have right now?
8:15.
I have 8:50, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that.
I'm here. Don't you get your plane?
But yeah, if that's all, then that is it for this episode of Madhouse. Thank you for listening to this episode. Nate, thank you for joining us. Hope we'll have you back sometime soon, maybe next week.
Okay, I'll come back.
If you so desire it. But yeah, if you enjoyed listening to this episode, please hit the like button. It really does help this podcast out if you hit the like button. It really helps. And also subscribe to my channel and my second channel. Link will be in the description. Also, don't forget to subscribe to bigdinoguy. Link will be in the description for that one, as well as Steve Kovoc and Chakky. Check them out. They have pretty good content. You can click to your bottom left and bottom right for last week's episode and the week before that, in case you missed them. Or not last week's episode, but the last time we had an episode, which was like last week. So you get the idea. And yeah, we'll be back next time for another episode. All right, bye.
Toodles.
What was that?